I am trying to make a stretchy belt from this piece of, this is a inner tube of a bicycle, and I was thinking it could make quite a nice belt. But we need to first make a belt buckle. So let's just see if we can, from a piece of wire, make a belt buckle. So let's bend this piece of wire. This is going to hook onto it like so. And that's the general idea. So that our belt would kind of grip, those two grip together. Let's get the soldering iron and solder that. Let's put a bit of flux on here. A bit of solder on here. We're going to take a bit of sandpaper and just roughen this bicycle tubing. It's a bicycle glue. Okay, so that has got some glue. I think you've got to let it dry for a few seconds or a minute or something. So now we're going to take this, put the bicycle inner tube in there and fold it over. Like that. This has had some time to dry. So let's push that into there. And then flip it over on itself. And so there's our belt. And what it does is it then clips onto itself like that. So here is our belt on our pants. So I think belts for men are a fairly stupid idea, because if you look at the shape of a man, a belt wants to fall down. If you look at the shape of a woman, she's got hips to support the belt. You know, you're getting old when you have trouble getting your rocking chair going. Well, there's lots of jokes like that, but I've sent away and bought men's suspenders. These things that go over your shoulders and you hook them to your belt. So I think that seems to be a far more appealing idea. I guess I've just given up on trying to be cool. But I like the idea of suspenders. Then you can use them with all pants and you don't have that tight belt around your waist all the time. So that it just sounds like a really great idea. When last did you see anyone wearing suspenders? And speaking to older people also think it's a great idea. I guess maybe when you get super old, your bum fades away and there's nothing left to hold the belt up. So yeah, maybe that's why old men think suspenders are a great idea, apart from the obvious comfort of it. So we'll show you when the suspenders arrive. Now, it could just be a middle child thing, but I do not think that there is anything in this world that cannot be improved upon. So I take like a belt. I think a non-stretchy belt is a bad idea. I'm not saying that my stretchy belt is any better, but I think it could be. And there is no object in this world, from a pencil to a door to a chair to a pair of glasses, there's nothing that can't be improved upon. I think it's just a matter of one should keep one's eyes open and one's mind open to the idea that everything in this world can be improved upon, oneself included. One can obviously be improved upon. Many people think that they can't be improved upon. Of course they can be improved upon. Everything in this world can be improved upon. I'm just randomly looking. I look at the scissors. Okay, look at that scissors. I can't even get my fat sausage fingers into the scissors to cut properly. And they've actually made one part of the scissors slightly bigger than the other. So I guess so that you can... So, even having this little thing on it, it's not a bad idea. But even scissors can be improved upon. The shape, the whatever, the sharpness. I would love it if these were slightly bigger. It's just... it is just amazing that we do live in a world where people are prepared to settle for everything just fairly inconvenient and just not working 100% well. I was thinking, if I ever went back to work, okay, I would just get a shirt like this. I would just print a tie down the front of my shirt. Just print a tie onto the shirt and go to work like that, so that I don't have to wear a tie. And then I think I'd even print the knot here or something. Just the tie is just the most stupid piece of garment, and I rebelled against wearing ties when I was a teacher, and they more or less gave up on trying to make me wear a tie. But because the kids didn't care whether you wore a tie or not, they literally didn't care. You could have come into the yard, and I think teachers are some of the worst dressed people in the world, especially the ladies, especially where I taught, maybe in other schools and overseas and whatever. But I'm just saying, the kids don't care, they don't mind. And so, as I say, I would try printing a tie down the front of my shirt if, as I say, I was ever forced to go and so I just look like I'm wearing a tie. In fact, I might even print it so that I look like I'm wearing a jacket as well, like that 3-piece undercoat. So I might just print the undercoat on the shirt with the tie, and wouldn't that be cool? So while I was teaching, I had actually made a belt from a bicycle inner tube, and this is a bicycle patch. The only inner tube I could find was from an old inner tube that already had a patch on it. So I was walking around with a belt that had a patch on it and teaching, and I was hoping that the kids would notice this. I was teaching science. I hope they would be curious enough to say, "Hey sir, is that belt a bicycle inner tube? Because it's even got a puncture repair onto it." And I thought, would try to provoke a discussion and get some curiosity going, and let's talk about stretchy belts and how you can repurpose bicycle inner tubes and so on. No, not a comment. I wore this thing for probably a year, and nobody ever even noticed or commented on it, that the fact that my belt actually had a bicycle repair patch on it. As I say, I just found that rather interesting.